How can we be sure that the Qur'an we have today is the same Qur'an that the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, taught to his companions over 1400 years ago? This question is central to the legitimacy of the religion of Islam. To answer it, we must explore how the Qur'an was revealed to the Prophet, preserved by his companions, and distributed across the Muslim world. This is a story of divine revelation, human dedication, and historical rigor. The Qur'an was revealed to the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, over 23 years, from the age of 40 to his death at 63. The revelation came in various ways. Most commonly it was spoken to him by the angel Gabriel, but it also came through dreams and on some occasions directly from God, which he experienced as the sound of a heavy bell, followed by the clarity of the words. The Prophet immediately shared these revelations with his companions. Since he was illiterate, he conveyed the Qur'an verbally, urging his followers to both memorize and write it down. The dual preservation, oral and written. The preservation of the Qur'an was achieved through both memorization and documentation. Many companions, known as hufaz, memorizers, committed the entire Qur'an to memory. Simultaneously, scribes wrote the verses on various materials, such as parchment, bones, wood, and stones. At least 65 companions served as scribes, and the Prophet established a school in Medina to teach reading and writing to over 900 companions. The Qur'an was revealed in the dialect of the Quraysh tribe, but the Prophet was permitted to teach it in 7 major dialects of the Arabian Peninsula. These dialects facilitated understanding among the diverse tribes adopting Islam, but did not significantly affect the written records, as differences existed primarily in pronunciation. By the time of the Prophet's death, hundreds of companions had memorized the Qur'an in its entirety, and numerous written records existed. The placement of verses within chapters had been established by the Prophet, but the sequence of chapters varied among companions since each chapter functioned independently. Compilation under Abu Bakr, R.A. Following the Prophet's death, the leadership passed to Abu Bakr, R.A. During his caliphate, the Battle of Yamama saw the deaths of many hufaz, raising concerns about preserving the Qur'an. Abu Bakr tasked Zayd ibn Thabit, a chief scribe of the Prophet, with compiling the Qur'an into a single manuscript. Zayd meticulously collected verses written during the Prophet's lifetime and verified them through oral testimony from multiple independent memorizers, tawatur. This compilation, known as the Suhuf, was given to Abu Bakr and later entrusted to Umar, R.A., and then to Hafsa, R.A., a wife of the Prophet. Standardization under Uthman, R.A. As Islam expanded, linguistic differences among non-Arab converts led to variations in Quranic recitation. To address this, Caliph Uthman, R.A., standardized the Qur'an in the Qurayshi dialect and commissioned Zayd ibn Thabit and other companions to create a definitive written copy. Uthman compared this text to the Suhuf held by Hafsa, R.A., to ensure accuracy. Once completed, he distributed this standardized text, known as the Uthmani Mushaf, to major Islamic centers, accompanied by expert reciters. To prevent discrepancies, Uthman ordered all non-standardized copies to be burned. The Uthmani Mushaf initially lacked diacritical marks, dots, and vowels, which Arabs of the time could read without difficulty. These marks were later added under subsequent caliphates to aid non-Arab Muslims. Continuous preservation through generations. From Uthman's era to today, the Qur'an has been preserved through a mutawatir, mass-transmitted chain of oral and written transmission. Every hafid, memorizer, learns the Qur'an exactly as it was taught by the Prophet, peace be upon him. The written copies have remained identical, with only advancements in calligraphy and printing. This unparalleled preservation is why Muslims today can confidently assert that the Qur'an they recite and study is the same as the one revealed to the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. The Qur'an's preservation is a testament to the fulfillment of Allah's promise in Surah Al-Hijr 15:9. Indeed, it is we who sent down the Qur'an, and indeed we will be its guardian. The Qur'an's challenge and protection. The Qur'an itself emphasizes its divine protection and challenges any alteration or corruption. In Surah Fussilat 41-42, Allah declares, "Falsehood cannot approach it from before it or from behind it. It is a revelation from a Lord who is wise and praiseworthy." This verse highlights the miraculous nature of the Qur'an's preservation. Over 1400 years, no changes have been made to its content. Every chapter and word remain exactly as they were revealed. This divine assurance is unparalleled among religious texts and underscores the Qur'an's status as a living miracle. Mathematical patterns and ring composition. The Qur'an's unique structure is another testament to its divine origin and protection. It employs a mathematical pattern and ring composition that ensures no alteration is possible. For instance, the word day appears 365 times, corresponding to the number of days in a solar year. The word month appears 12 times, matching the number of months in a year. The words man and woman each appear 24 times, signifying balance. Pairs like day and night, earth and heaven, hell and heaven, belief and disbelief, and good and evil occur with equal frequency, reflecting harmony and intentionality. Additionally, the Qur'an's ring composition, a literary structure where themes and messages mirror each other in a symmetric pattern, further secures its coherence and unity. For example, the central verse of Surah Al-Baqarah 2:143 encapsulates the chapter's overarching message, with preceding and succeeding verses reflecting balanced thematic divisions. These intricate patterns demonstrate that the Qur'an is not a product of human effort, but a divine revelation meticulously preserved in its original form. The mathematical and structural perfection of the Qur'an continues to awe scholars and believers alike, reinforcing its status as a living miracle. Here are some significant points and potential areas of improvement in the discussion. 1. Clarity on revelation methods. The modes of revelation are briefly discussed but could benefit from further elaboration. For example, explain the significance of the different methods, e.g. Angel Gabriel's direct communication versus inspiration in dreams. Highlight the impact of these methods on the authenticity and consistency of the Quranic message. 2. Emphasis on tawatur. While tawatur, multiple attestations, is mentioned, its importance can be underlined more strongly. Clarify that tawatur ensures no single individual's memory or interpretation could alter the Qur'an. Provide examples of how this principle was applied during the compilation process. 3. Addressing variants and 7 dialects. The allowance for 7 dialects is a significant aspect but remains somewhat vague. Discuss how the dialects were chosen and their role in spreading Islam. Explain how Uthman's standardization affected these dialects without altering the Qur'an's core message. 4th, challenges and solutions in compilation. The challenges faced during the compilation and standardization are critical but underexplored. Expand on the difficulty of gathering written fragments and reconciling oral traditions. Discuss the objections or controversies, if any, among companions and how they were resolved. Role of early scribes and schools. The role of scribes in the Medina school is mentioned but could use more details. Describe the Prophet's system of verifying written records during his lifetime. Highlight the contributions of key scribes like Zayd ibn Thabit. 6. Uthman's actions post-standardization. The burning of variant copies is a sensitive issue that needs careful handling. Provide a rationale for this decision to avoid confusion or misinterpretation. Emphasize that the goal was unity and not suppression of legitimate interpretations. 7. Inclusion of diacritical marks. The addition of diacritical marks later on is an important development. Clarify how their absence initially didn't affect understanding among Arabs. Discuss how this innovation helped non-Arabs learn and recite the Qur'an correctly. 8. Role of oral transmission. Today, the ongoing role of oral transmission can be expanded. Highlight how modern-day Hufaz ensure the accuracy of Quranic recitation globally. Mention institutions that continue this tradition. 9. Comparison with other scriptures. While not necessary, a comparative analysis could strengthen the argument. Briefly contrast the Qur'an's preservation with historical challenges faced by other religious texts. 10. Authentic sources and evidence references to Quranic verses and authentic hadiths could be integrated more prominently. Include additional evidence like the Prophet's sayings on memorization and recording the Quran. Cite other historical events that corroborate the preservation narrative.
Conclusion. The Qur'an stands as a timeless testament to divine wisdom and protection. Its seamless preservation over 1400 years, combining oral and written traditions, exemplifies a miraculous fulfillment of Allah's promise to guard it. The mathematical precision and profound ring composition within its verses underscore a depth and coherence unattainable by human design. Beyond its historical and linguistic significance, the Qur'an continues to inspire billions, guiding humanity with unparalleled clarity and insight. This remarkable preservation, unparalleled in the annals of history, attests to the Qur'an's unique status among religious texts. It challenges skeptics, invites seekers, and affirms believers of its authenticity. Every word and verse echoes through time, untouched and unaltered, a living miracle and a beacon of truth. In a world filled with uncertainty, the Qur'an remains a constant, a divine connection that transcends generations, cultures, and boundaries, inviting all to reflect upon its wisdom and embrace its message of guidance and hope.